What's up, y'all? It's Bahja, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastards.
Maybe I'm just a little naive.
All right, y'all. So we got the beautiful Bahja.
Oh,
I almost wanted to say your last name.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, cool. Bahja, you know, the last time we talked, we were all in the studio together.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
I know.
I'm super excited to hear what you have planned next. But
Thank
first,
you. Yeah.
we got to start off with this. So I was on Twitter. And they were saying, like, the OMG Girlz, the OG fans said that y'all still owe them an EP, and y'all still need a master. Y'all owe them a master to Loverboy.
Y'all not gonna let us live for Loverboy. They're not gonna let us live for that. I mean, well, right now, you know, obviously, like, it's been all on the blogs and stuff. You know, we're kind of like going through some, you know, legal stuff, which I really can't get into. But the girls and I, we have been talking about like doing something special for the fans and everything. So I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want to get everybody excited. But we have been talking. That's all I really can say. Like, we've been talking about stuff.
Oh, man. And so with your experience in the industry very early on, what would you say were some things that it really taught you, especially as a woman?
Well, I would say the industry one thing first, it taught me like respect. Like, I think in this industry and being like a black woman in this industry, like, respect is so important. You don't want to walk into a room and it's like, can I cuss on here? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't want to walk into a room and it's like, you know, niggas looking at you like, oh, like, I know her, she talked to this person, that person, that person. So I think it really taught me like just respect for myself and just how to demand respect from others. But also too, like, it really just taught me like a different type of work ethic. Cause I feel like no matter what type of business I do, even the businesses I have outside of my music, like, I feel like the industry kind of prepared me for like the work and all of that goes into it. I mean, I don't know, I feel like I've learned all good things. I haven't really learned anything bad.
Now that you're pursuing your solo career, do people still, even to this day, try to box you into the OMG Girlz?
I mean, I wouldn't even say box me in, but I think it's just that's where I got my start. So you can't really talk about my career without bringing that up. But I feel like people do a really good job of like kind of looking at me as an individual. And I feel like just because I've had so many like EPs and songs out and visuals and stuff, and I've kind of built my own fan base, I think that people kind of look at me and be like, okay, like, nah, her own music is like, you know, she's dope as fuck. So
I love that for you. So how would you explain your overall journey with your music career?
I would say that it's been challenging, but rewarding at the same time. Like, for me, I think my biggest thing is like kind of getting past myself. I'm like my own worst critic. I'll keep everybody in the studio for like hella long trying to get like parts right and everything, and like niggas will have to tell me like, listen, this is hard, I don't think you gonna get it. No, you done did 5 takes of this one take and it's all of them are good, so we need to just pick one and move on.
I know, but that's really hard as a creative because you're sensitive about your work, and
that's what it is.
Yeah,
I just want it to be perfect. Like, I'm a super perfectionist, but I mean, I don't know, it comes from a good place. Like, I know when I kind of need to be like, okay, like, you know, maybe I should kind of back off of this or whatever and just let it breathe, but I'm like a super perfectionist.
What, I know you're not a Virgo.
No, I'm a Leo. My sister's a Virgo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, both of y'all are freaking perfectionists.
Yeah. She's like super perfect though. Like like I'll let stuff slide. My little sister, like everything, even at her home, like you walk in her house, everything has a place. It's all in order. With me, I kind of like have like an organized chaos going on. Like stuff might be, you know, everywhere. Well, not in my room, but you know, like in my studio, I have like the dry erase board here, stuff here. But it's like I know where everything is, but it's just not all the way like together.
And would you say, with pursuing a music career, would you say that, how do I want to put this? God, it's the way I want to ask it, but I have it in my head. Yeah. It's kind of hard to articulate.
No, it's okay.
So
I'm like that
too. I might move on to the next.
Okay.
I might move on to the
like that too.
I might move on to the next question, and then, So really quick, because I don't want to dwell on the OMG Girlz for too long. Yeah. But I do want to hear, like, with that being so young and pursuing your music career at that age, What would you say was like the pressures that you guys had to deal with?
I think like always being like super polished and super perfect, right? And then too, back then it was like Twitter and Instagram was kind of like just fresh. So we dealt with a lot of like hate in the comments and like trolls and shit like that. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to be getting back right. Like,
did you clap back?
I definitely was clap back queen. I think everybody like if you know, like me on Twitter back then, I was a mess. Now I've calmed down like so much, but girl, I used to be clapping back all of that. But I mean, I just think like, we came in at such like a different time, and I think we were kind of like the only little young girl group out.
Will I say, were y'all like the last of the girl groups?
I mean, now I think like I've been seeing like a resurgence of like girl group. I got a girl group I like. I like Flow. Like I think they're
the one. Are they?
Yeah,
from,
they're
like,
from
the
UK.
Yes,
Yeah, see,
I love them.
I like them, but I think I haven't seen a group that was like us since us. Like just I'm not gonna say they're not fun, but just like how we just had all these crazy colors. We dressed how we wanted to. Like I feel like we kind of brought like a breath of fresh air.
Right, I would say, like, looking back now, because, back then we didn't realize how much of an impact you guys really were while y'all
We didn't either.
Yeah, but I really think you guys really made it okay for young girls to express themselves.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the colorful hair, the outfits, like, you just really showed girls that it's okay to be you, like, it's okay to show up as yourself, and it's okay to have fun.
And that was like kind of like our message and our drive behind it. You know what I mean? Which is like, just be you, do what you want to do. You want to dye your hair purple, dye your hair purple. You want to dye your hair green, dye it green. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? So like, and I kind of like have carried that into like what I do now. I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like, unapologetically, like, this is me. Whatever I feel I want to do, I'm just gonna do it.
And I loved when I was watching your interview, you had mentioned, I think you guys were on the topic of like the hair colors, talking about different hair colors, and you was like, I pulled up to Jimmy Levine's house and I had pink hair, like, and I got a deal right then and there. I was like, I know that's right.
And it's just, you gotta be different, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody will see the vision, like that's really what this shit is about. It's about like just being you, and like if you're supposed to align with somebody like who could give you opportunity, like they're gonna see your vision no matter what. So just, that's why it's always important to like be yourself and not try to be nobody else.
Now, we're going to get back into the music, but I want to talk about this Airbnb business that you got.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. How did you even get into that?
So it was kind of like an idea that I had, and then like I brought my sister, because it's me and my sister. I brought my sister in on it. I'm like, yo, we should really do this. She's like, okay, cool. So we, like got the spot or whatever, decorated it and all of that. It's been really cool, but what I will say is, it's like, see, my cleaning fee actually goes towards cleaning, so I don't make anybody.
Okay, let's talk about the cleaning fee.
Yeah.
So thank you for, talking about where the cleaning fee.
Because I hate that too. Like, why y'all charging me a cleaning fee if I gotta take the trash out, pull the sheets off the bed, put them in the washing machine, start it for y'all? Like, I don't really believe in that. I tell people like, just make sure it's not no super overflow of trash, but we'll come in and take care of everything else. I think we just try to provide like a hotel-like experience for people.
Girl, where is your Airbnb? Like,
okay, so it's in Midtown. You can find it's called the Golden Spot. So y'all can find us, on Airbnb, the Golden Spot. That's the name of our Airbnb. But it's in Midtown. It's pretty central to like everything, by the Dome, by Phillips Arena. Or State Farm Arena. All of that stuff. It's like right by everything, pretty much.
Have you got to Superhost status yet?
I'm almost there.
Okay.
We're almost there. Not quite, but almost. We have like a few more little things, but thank you.
You're welcome. And then another thing that I want to talk about is I was watching your Q&A.
Yeah.
And you spoke on how if you weren't pursuing music, you would be probably most likely in like the criminal justice field or like a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that with you because I think that's very interesting.
Well, me, I'm a person, I like to debate. I like to argue. I think I'm really good at defending myself and defending others if I truly believe that like what they're saying to me is the truth. So it's like, that's kind of all the reason. And then I'm really smart. Like, I don't think, a lot of people don't really know that, but like language arts and stuff, like I've been reading on a 12th grade level since I was like a 3rd grader, So like, I just always felt like, okay, I could do criminal justice because it's so tedious. It's so much reading and researching and stuff like that. But I like to do that anyways. And I like to you know, speak my piece. Obviously, I like to argue. So I just felt like it would be pretty cool. But then I got into the group, and that kind of like, I mean, I always sang, but you know, once I got in the group, it was like, all right, like this is what we doing.
And like it followed you with like pursuing your music career even after the group.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, what it was like for you. Did you have to start over with your career after leaving the group?
I did, because at the time, the people that we were working with, like I wasn't working with them anymore. So I had to build my team from the ground up, like management, from the people who I was in the studio with. Luckily, I had a friend, his name is Rick, Rick Music, and I knew him. He put me on with his engineer at the time, and with the producer, Go Grizzly. He had put me on with them, and we did my first single, Jealous Type, and I just uploaded it on SoundCloud. I didn't know if people was gonna really fuck with it. I'm like, we just gonna put it on SoundCloud and see. And that shit went so crazy, like beyond what we expected. People was like, you need to put it on Apple Music. And so I put it on Apple Music, and that's really how it got started. But yeah, I had to completely like start over.
Did you feel any discouragement with having to start all over again?
To be honest, I did. And then I felt like, okay, I came from like this super duper machine, or well-oiled machine, and you know, everything like that. But I'm just so determined to do what I want to do that like I didn't let it like, it discouraged me, but I didn't let it scare me into not doing it. I'm like, all right, fuck that. We're going to like figure this shit out. We're going to figure out if whoever going to need to be a part of this shit, they're going to be a part of it. God will bring them to me. So I just was like, all right, we just going to maneuver. And when I put that single out, like so many people kind of like came to me, and, you know, just like, it was just all organic. Like my team was really just built off of just like organic relationships and shit like that.
Right. What would you say was like the most challenging thing that came with you having to kind of start your career over?
Realizing what it really means to be independent. You know, when I was in the group, we were independent, like somewhat, but you know, we were signed to Interscope, and you know, we just had certain aspects of our career were already figured out. But really being independent and realizing like, okay, this shit is coming out my pocket. Like, you know, I gotta, don't shit happen if I don't make it happen, you know? So it was just kind of like those little things and realizing like, oh, well, this is what it means to be independent. Like, I got to figure it out, you know? And really the final decision is on me too. And that was like another thing. I was so used to making decisions with other people and consulting with all these people before I did something. And then it went from that to like, now I just do, you know, whatever it is I want to do. I consult with my team, but the final decision is on me.
Right.
You know, so.
What would you say you've discovered about yourself as an artist?
What have I discovered about myself? Just my tenacity, man. It's like the way that I don't stop. It amazes me sometimes, honestly. Like just not even trying to toot my own horn, but as much stuff as I faced in this industry, as many people who've like tried to stop me or, you know, kind of like getting to block my blessings, if you will, you know, I never stop, you know, and I think that kind of just amazes me how I'm able to like keep going. I think I wouldn't have learned to be this way unless I was in a solo artist in my own situation and doing what I'm doing, because it's like in order for it to go, like I have to make it go. Like I can't stop, I can't not, you know what I mean, get shit going. So I think it just really taught me like tenacity. Like that's what I learned the most about myself. I have an incredible amount of tenacity.
And you know what, I'm very curious with how you were able to continue your music career even after these years until like in the now.
Yeah. I would just say God, number one. And number two, like just my family, my team, like my mom, my sister, they don't ever let me quit. Even if I want to quit, they don't let me quit. My team, they all like the homies, like my engineers, like my brother, my graphic designers, like my brother, you know, so everyone around me is just so like, nah, you the shit though. Like we got to keep going. So even on those days where I don't really feel my best or I just feel like, ugh, what am I doing this for? You know what I mean? It's like, I still have so many people around me that remind me like, hey, you know, like, nah, we here for you. Like you exactly who you think you are. Like, you know, let's get up, dust ourselves off, and let's keep the shit pushing, you know?
What did a tough time look like for you in your career?
A tough time, honestly, when I would say right when my group broke up and my parents were actually going through their divorce too. And so I was having to transition into this solo. I just had so much that was like so many different changes that was going on at one time, and I was still trying to like pursue my career. I would say that's the hardest time I've ever probably been through in this. Like everything else, you know, I could kind of like get past or whatever. Like some business shit, we'll figure that out. Some, you know, whatever. But that, like my personal life and my professional life was just both going so crazy. Like that's never happened.
Oh, how did
like,
you even center yourself to where you could think clearly?
Well, I'm the oldest girl. I'm my mom's oldest. So I think I was just kind of like, all right, we just got to like suck it up. You know, I would like cry with myself and, you know, like, oh, this is so hard, whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, I knew like that I had to keep going. And I think that's kind of like how I centered myself. I'm just like, okay, we can't really let this like stop us though. We got to like keep going. Like it's hard and it looks pretty bleak, but we gonna get through this. We done went through way worse than this, you know, so we gonna get through this. Like,
now I do want to ask you, like, what is like some cool fun facts about you?
Okay, so I like anime a lot.
Wait, hold up. I know you're a gamer.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. I like to game. But really, my games are like Nintendo Switch. Like I'm not like a PS5 or like I'm like more of like my Switch, Mario Kart, Crash Bandicoot,
Girl,
Spyro.
the Mario Kart. I'm playing Miss Peach every time.
Yeah, like it's just, you know, for me it'd be, you know, like little games like that. But and then too, like I love history. People don't know that. I love history. I love ancient history, recent history. Like I'm like a super like history nerd.
You want to know what's so crazy?
What?
I am too.
Really? See, but it's cool though, right? Like it's
people,
fun.
I think I give myself anxiety every morning because I literally read the world news.
Yeah. Me too. Like it kind of, low-key I had to stop because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes,
I'm taking in too much info at one time. Like I'm scaring myself.
Like literally, if you just read what's going on in other countries, you'll dead ass think the world is ending.
Yeah, that's how it make you feel. But I mean, yeah, like those are like definitely like little things. I think people don't know because I don't really talk about it.
I feel like you are like very, how do I put this?
Reserved?
Yes.
Yeah, I think because when you just, I don't know, the way I grew up, I've been in the industry since I was 12. So I was always taught your business is your business. It's not for the world to know. And, you know, so I just kind of present a certain type of way just because I'm like, okay, these people don't know me and, you know, everything like that. But now I feel like I'm kind of getting more social. Like, you know, we met at the studio.
I know, girl.
I was just talking to y'all.
We chopped it up the whole night.
We did. You know what I mean? Like, and the music was loud as hell in there. On top of that, we're like shouting over the music, like, yeah, and da-da-da-da, you know, like, but that was, you know, I just feel like now I'm trying to like be in a place where it's like, you know, why not talk to people? Why not get to know people and, you know what I mean, get cool with people that don't hurt me, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like where I'm at with that. Like,
now, the year of 2022, what did that look like for you?
A lot of recording and a lot of like self-discovery. I was still in this phase where I was like processing like my last breakup, which is like what my album is about. It's just going through that breakup. But I was really processing that and kind of like coming to terms with like, okay, like this is over, this is done with, you know what I mean? Like I need to record about this and just let it be and let it go. So I feel like I was doing like a lot of like self explorations or like just discovering a lot of things about myself I didn't know, like kind of just getting back to me.
Right.
And it was, I don't know, 2022 for me was cool. Like I was doing everything that I pretty much wanted to do or that I felt, you know, like I feel like 2022 I really started to like have fun and like come out of this fog of like this heartbreak and, you know, that heartbroken shit. Like I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm over that. I could have fun. Right. You know what I mean? Like I could go out with my friends. I could travel. You know, I just didn't feel how I felt, you know, the previous, you know,
How long
years.
would you say it took you to really heal from the breakup?
I would say probably like a good year and some change. It wasn't until like summertime 2022 where I was like, all right, you know what? Like that's when I finally woke up and I realized like I'm over this shit. You know what I mean? And I just made the decision like, all right, we didn't cry, we done been heartbroken, we did all that. Now it's time for us to get out here and live. Let's go, let's travel, let's have fun with our friends. Let's like, you know, let's do shit.
You know what I really admire about women is how we really process breakups.
Yeah.
And like we really sit in that. Like when I say we sit in it. We sit in it.
I'm sad.
Cry. We literally, we gotta talk to our friends a little bit.
Yeah.
We gotta go out to eat.
Yeah.
Like we gotta
just get back to you though, cause it be hard.
It's so hard. Yeah.
It is hard, but I'm grateful to kind of go through that experience, cause that was like my first real deal heartbreak I'd ever dealt with, and I'm just glad I got that out the way. So now like whatever I do next, it won't affect me how that first initial heartbreak affected me, cause I feel like I love completely different now. Like you know what I mean? So. It ended up working out how I needed to.
No, but one thing about it, I know that motivation for that album was.
Listen, it's through the roof, girl. It's the album is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's definitely like a story.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's my album. I really wanted it to be like a story of what I had been going through. Because once I went through my breakup, I wasn't even really dropping music. I wasn't even really on social media for real. I was just trying to figure shit out. And so like. I've literally been recording this album from the end of 2020 up until right now. So this has been like almost 2 years worth of like recording and just kind of getting back to myself and everything. But I think my fans are really gonna be pleased. They've never really heard me speak from like a vulnerable place like this before, like just kind of being open and honest and saying like, hey, like I did get hurt. Like y'all know, most of my songs they're like, fuck that nigga, I don't need him, da 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 da. But this album is kind of like, it's different because I ain't feel that way. Like, I ain't feel like, fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? I was really hurt. So I'm just glad my fans kind of get to hear me be vulnerable and honest with them, and just let them know, like, hey, I know y'all be going through shit like this, and I go through shit like this, too. So that's kind of, like, why I'm really excited to drop it.
Wow, there's a lot of life experience into that album.
Yeah.
Because from 2020 up until, like, now that's like you done been through a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely that's why I just said like it's really a story, what I mean. The hardest part that I'm having trouble with now is like narrowing down like what I want on there, because there's so many good records. I'm like, it's like I got the story, but I got to piece together the strongest records that like tell the story. So that's really where we at in the process.
And with this album in specific, first off, the title of it, what do we have picked out?
It's like, I don't know if I want to say it yet. I don't know if I want to say it yet, because I might change it. But for now, I think I'm going to call it Look What You Did.
Ooh, I like that.
Look What You Did. So, it's just kind of like this whole story of like, heartbreak and then healing and then like the triumph after that when you get through that and you finally heal and you enjoying your life, and you kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. Like that's really what this is about for me.
You got any features that you could reveal?
Not yet. Just because everything. Like I'm still obviously like in talks with that. Just trying. I don't want to throw anybody out there and then it's like it kind of fall through, but. We definitely got features. I'm really excited. Within my whole career, I've been able to make like a lot of connections, and I have like a lot of, really cool friends who just like fuck with me and what I'm doing. So I definitely think people are gonna be surprised and excited about the features that I have on here. And that's really all, I really could say about that.
Do we have Zonique on there?
Now, what's so funny? Me and her, we have songs together, but we have not recorded a song for this project. And funny enough, she had told me, she's like, I want to record a song. Like, I have a song that I want you to get on. And I'm like, girl, I want you on a song too. I gotta make it.
I feel like y'all are such friends that like it just,
I'm her child's godmother. So it's like, our friendship is like, we've been friends all our lives, everything like that. But we literally are just, like you said, we such friends that like when it come to making music together, it just be like, okay, pull up to the house, or you know what I mean? Like let's pull up and get it done. Like so we just, we be vibing how we vibe.
Period. Now this year, where do you really want to take your career?
To the next level for sure. Right. I think I really want this to be my breakout year.
It's time, honestly.
It's just, for me, I think it's really all about timing. And I just feel like what I've been doing up until this point is just like preparing for my moment. I don't know when that moment gonna come. I don't know how it's gonna come, but I know when it does come, I'll be ready. So I never really kind of looked at it like, niggas asleep, they need to wake up. Like, because the reality is like, I want to make sure that I'm ready. When it's time for me to be on a mainstream level and, that type of thing, like, I want to make sure all my ducks is in a row. Like, I got the whole entire team ready to go. Like, everybody is on the same page. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, you know, where we are. But I think this year I'm definitely going to take my career to the next level. I think this year people will really start to notice, like, okay, Bahja's the one for real. And, you know, then next year will just be a continuation of that, you know?
It's going to go up. And So you did mention, like, I guess basically how you never looked at it as like, oh, people are sleeping on me.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you said that, because I was definitely going to ask you, have you ever felt like you were overlooked?
I mean, I think it's like the natural human emotion to feel overlooked,
yeah.
but I've kind of always used that as like motivation to like do more and be better and be the best, and kind of like put myself out there as much as possible, so that whenever people do, you know, come and see what I'm doing, they like, oh, okay, like this girl's like super dope. Like, not just like play dope, but like for real dope. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have felt overlooked at times, but I don't really like sit in that emotion, because I just feel like, all right, like if I'm feeling overlooked, like I might need to go in the studio and make a song. I might need to post something on Instagram, or you know what I mean? Like, just do something so it makes me feel that like at the end of the day, like I'm taking that emotion and I'm putting it back into my career. Like, I'm putting it back into like what I'm doing and where I'm trying to go. Like, it doesn't make me feel like, they overlooking me, they need to wake up, they sleep. Like, I don't sit in that. Like, I might feel that way sometimes, but I just use that to like power me forward.
Right. I love that you take action with it, because I feel like many feel that way, and it's very easy to get stuck into that feeling like I'm overlooked, I'm an underdog, like nobody's paying attention to me. And that's why I feel like you're going to succeed and you're going to go crazy with your career, because no matter what or how you're feeling, all you know is to continue to push forward.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I appreciate you saying that. It's like taking notice to that. But I think, like, you know, for me, it's just, that's really what I want my fans to like get from me too. Like, I don't quit. You know, I done seen the peaks and the valleys of this shit. Like, I done been completely on top of the world and then had to go back down and start completely over. And I don't have, you know, like, my parents aren't famous, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not on TV. So, you know, I've really had to build it up. I mean, even back then, my Instagram had got deleted, so I had to restart my Instagram. It was just crazy. But I feel like, you know, it was a reason that God was doing that. Like, I think, you know, it's just about now me, you know, kind of just elevating it and keeping it going. Like, I feel that's a part of my story. You know, it's like, in this industry, you could be on top of the world one day and right back to ground zero tomorrow. Like, you never really know how it go, but you got to be able to have like a rational mind and not get caught up in your emotions to be able to bounce back from that. Because like with me, if I would have stayed there and been sad and never did anything, and I'm like, oh, I got out this wonderful group and now we just, you know, if I would have did that, I wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? I would still be in that emotion. So I just feel like you got to keep going, like roll with the punches with this. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is the music business, so I don't take nothing personal. I feel like everybody move and do what they feel is best for them in this business. And I get it, you know, I understand it. So, you know, I just try to make sure my team is solid and I'm solid, and that I don't let this industry shit affect how I feel and move and about myself in real life, you know?
Exactly.
So that's really what it is.
And one more thing, touching on the industry, when it comes to hitting rock bottom in your music career, what does it look like to pick yourself up from that?
Number one, you gotta wipe them tears, because this should have had you crying. Like, music is the only thing that I've allowed to continuously like break my heart and but heal me at the same time. It's kind of crazy, because it's not the music, it's the music business, you know, and that's what I had to establish. Like, the music business and the music that I make are two totally different things. And like, once you realize that like this is a cutthroat business, you don't let it affect you emotionally. Kind of like pulling myself out of that rock bottom place, it was like just establishing my team, really reaching out to people who were my friends. Like, Rick was my friend, and you know, through him I met my engineer, who's like, he taught me how to structure a record. The first time I ever wrote a record, he was sitting right there with me. You know, that from our graphic designer, my best friend, her name is Bree, but she's a photographer, Exquisite Eye. What's up, Bree? But she, you know, used to take all my pictures for my cover art, shot my first like EP covers. So I really relied a lot on my friends. And I think I was just like, in order for me to pull myself out of this, I have to really rely on those who love me, and everybody else who kind of come in the mix is like, you know, like it's business. It's still love, but it's business. But I got my core team of people that I'm just always fuck with, no matter what, you know.
And just to go back really quick, Bree, Exquisite Eyes, she is a amazing photographer.
Absolutely. She's super dope, and it's funny because I met her. She was doing a shoot in Little 5 Points, and she came up to me like, I'm a photographer. Da 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 da. I was still an OMG girl at this point.
Really?
She gave me her card. She didn't even give me her number. She gave me her card, and I went on her website, found her Twitter, DM'd her, and got her number. And she came and picked me up from my house, and we went to teen night at the High Museum. They do this like teen night every like Friday or something, I don't know. But we had went, and me and her, we were just locked in ever since. But just watching her like go from like where she was to now she's shooting like everybody, Summer Walker, SZA, all these amazing people. Like, it's just dope to see. And really it kind of further confirms for me that like I'm in the right space and I'm around the right people. You know, all my people are like winning, they doing good things for themselves, and that makes me happy. It made me happy to be associated in some way. Like, I'm like, shit, I must be doing something right, because if I was doing the wrong thing, I'd be around people who wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean? So I gotta be on the right track some type of way, you know?
Now, you did recently drop, you dropped it in 2022, but you just dropped a live performance to it. So let's talk about that.
So I kind of just did that on a humbug. My bro Damar, he's also, well, I say he's my graphic designer because he does my graphics, but he really is like my creative director. And so I had reached out to him and I'm like, bro, I want to do like a live performance. And he's like, all right, cool, come over. We did that at his house. Like, he just set everything up, he filmed it. We did that shit at the crib. Like, it was just, I felt like I wanted to still surround some more content around it. And we have like the official music video coming out. So it was just kind of, you know, something for the fans to kind of like, you know, nibble on or whatever. But the actual visual itself is like super dope. I styled it myself, so I'm ready for everybody to see that, because I was super excited about the looks. They looked so good that I'm like, people gonna be like, nah, she styled herself. That was cute, you know?
Now they know, quit playing with
Period.
me.
You know, one woman show.
Now, before we wrap up, so we do know that you should be dropping an EP very soon.
Yes.
And outside of that, what else do you feel like you want to let us in on?
So outside of like the EP, obviously my album, and just kind of keep a lookout for like more things that I have coming. I'm like a person who I don't really like to talk. I just kind of like to pop out with it. But, you know, we got some cool shit coming. So, you know, it's definitely something for like the fans to kind of stay tapped into what I have going on. But just be on the lookout for that video. My next, I'm gonna do like a little EP before my album. And, you know, we keeping it rolling. Period.
Now, Bahja, I want you to talk all your shit. I need you to talk all your shit, how you coming this year, like stop fucking playing with me, the whole night. And that's how we gonna end the interview.
Well, y'all already know. Y'all know how the fuck I'm coming, you know. It's a lot of bitch shit going on, a lot of motion, a lot of this, a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, you know, I'm really the one for real. Like, I'm standing on that now. And this year, I'm gonna prove why. So just stay tuned.
Maybe I'm just a little naive to think that you were only love.